internet got messed up. So now let's go into our next topic, because I was getting heated about talking about getting the insurance companies out of our politics and our driving the conversations. But anyways, what's next on the agenda, Zino?
All right, we're going to talk about science and the politics, the merging of them, the separation of them, so on and so forth.
Okay.
You want me to kick it off?
Oh yeah, real quickly, just in case people are noticing, my view looks a little bit different. Is I'm just not recording from I'm not recording from my phone, so just hopefully that'll provide us with a little bit better quality. But yeah, I think, Zino, you're about to talk about the fact that there was a first-time endorsement in over 175 years of an existence. There was a first-time endorsement.
Yeah, the I think it's a monthly magazine.
Yeah, Scientific American.
Yeah, Scientific American. They endorsed a candidate for president for the first time in its entire existence, as you said, 175 years. They endorsed Joe Biden. Apparently, this current president is just way too much of an enemy to science for them to stand on the sidelines for this one, which is why we thought it would be good to talk about science and politics, where the parties stand on it, why it's an issue.
Yeah. So I don't get how science. So, all right, look. Just in case anybody listens to this that I'm talking about them, I don't want people to think that I'm talking shit about these people. But I joined a bowling league, right? Shut up. I'm secretly a 55-year-old man named Earl, and I joined a bowling league recently, right? I'm the only one. So as most of you have known, we are in Atlanta, so the deep south. I joined a I joined a bowling league, right? And if anybody knows about Atlanta, the bowling league goes closer to Athens. And although UGA is probably very liberal in itself, that surrounding counties and whatnot, they're not, right?
Funny.
But I went up there. It's further up there, so it's further up Lawrenceville. So if anybody knows the Georgia area, they'll know that Lawrenceville is further up. It's closer to, I would say it's actually closer to, I guess Sewanee comes after that, maybe?
I don't know. I know Oconee County is where Athens.
Actually, I think it hits Oconee County. So anyways, so I'm the only one that wears a mask, right? Which I'm like, fine, whatever. Look, my wife is a nurse, and she says I can only bowl if I wear a mask, and that's perfectly fine. That's what I'm going to do, right? And then, I'm talking to a lot of people there, and these people are great, they're funny people, they're nice people, or whatever. I don't know. Why are you laughing, man?
Because I know you're about to start talking crap about them, and
no,
you want
I'm
them to know he's not talking crap about you.
No, it's just what ends up happening is, so we're having these conversations, and then out of nowhere, one of the guys who's a sweet man, really nice.
I'm sorry.
He is. He's a sweet guy. He's a really nice gentleman. Really, off the bat, I've liked him. But then what ends up happening is he talks about, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that mask anyways. And then he goes on to how his sister up in New York was told that she's in nursing, I guess, and doctors tell her that doctors are signing off COVID deaths as COVID deaths. Guy goes in and motorcycle accident, COVID death. We thought that's been touched on before as to why that happens. If you get, what was it like? If you get mauled by a bear.
So on your death certificate, basically they list multiple reasons for. So like if you fall off a building, right? You died because you fell off a building. But okay. The brain hemorrhage would be listed on there, likely. Blunt force trauma. So they list multiple things. So some people have conflated this to mean that if you had, I don't know, heart issues, and then you died from, and you died with like a heart attack or whatever, and doctors also put COVID-19 on there. They conflating it, saying that they're inflating the COVID-19.
They're inflating the numbers. It's kind of like, now that I remember, they said if you get mauled by a bear and you have diabetes and you get complications, there are some complications that require certain things because of your diabetes. the bear is still the reason you died,
Mhm.
right? Even though you're dying because of complications from diabetes, not just from complications from the bear mauling.
Yeah.
Same thing. You get COVID-19, you go in, you die because you have heart problems. You're dying because of COVID-19. COVID-19 is the reason you're dying because of it, right?
Yeah. Like if not for COVID-19, you would probably not have died at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it goes into that. It goes into the whole thing. I mean, there's already a guy who wears a freaking Trump shirt, whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Like, just don't talk shit to me because there won't be no issues if you don't talk shit to me. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to respect you for that. But you know what? One day I might wear my freaking I'm thinking about getting a Bernie Sanders shirt that I saw that has just his eyebrows and it says the one you lost. That one I'm thinking about. Or wearing that shirt that you ever seen the shirt that says relax Ringo, I'm legal?
I haven't, but that's a funny
I'm
one.
not buying that. Anyways, but it's just like whatever. I go there, I have fun, whatever. I'm definitely not down. I like the guy. But it just becomes like one of these things where I'm like, why are we arguing these things that are based in science? Like COVID-19 is not a conspiracy. It's not the deaths aren't conflated. Maybe there are some deaths that wouldn't have happened because of COVID-19, and maybe there are some deaths that would have happened even if COVID-19 hadn't happened, right?
Mhm.
But COVID-19 has bumped these things up, right? And it's just like I knew it was like it's just an issue with the fact that people choose their politics over their science.
Yeah.
The
politics over the common sense.
That too,
But you know what? I know we're focusing on COVID-19, but this actually, to my earliest recollection, goes back at least 20 years. And this goes back to when it seemed like the climate crisis became a left versus right issue. It seemed like, I don't know whether it's because Al Gore was doing that whole inconvenient truth thing. So they're like, oh, well, then it must be a liberal idea that climate change is man-made, so therefore, as a conservative, I'm going to be on the other side of it. Like, nah, science doesn't, bend to the whims of your political affiliation. It's one way or the other. It's not because a Democrat supports this that means as a Republican you have to be against it. I don't get people who think like that. Like, oh no, the science is. I'm voting against Democratic science or Republican science. Science has no political affiliation, which is why these people have not made an endorsement till now, till it has become like an actual fight against science to have this man in office. This man who hires anti-environmentalists as the EPA chief, or hires or like pulls us out of the Paris climate accords, and I was like.
Or even something that's something that might not be considered science, but it's kind of in the same vein. You pick a person who hates public education to be the education secretary, who basically guts people to be able to learn like actual real crap, or wants to, I think half the time it's usually they want to get vouchers for private schools.
So yeah, I mean, but that's even like the science of education too, right? Like she's not someone that's well versed in the numbers behind what's
no, I think she is. I think she actually is. I think she knows the benefits of public school, but she doesn't care because she just has an agenda or just I just feel like she's classist.
Yeah.
And just has this deep hatred towards people who need public schools because they can't afford private. I just feel like she's a very classist person.
So I know a lot of people that are Republican that aren't anti-science, but the party itself, for some reason, has
you may not be anti-science, but you vote for the party you're voting against.
Exactly, you're voting for anti-science party. So for some reason, they've really leaned into it over the last 4 years with this, like, hey, it's a Democrat hoax that that it's hotter now.
Gravity is a Democratic hoax.
Yeah, the world is actually flat. Yeah, it's a Democratic hoax that it's wrong. Like, golly, man, like, how can one party be so wrong on so many things? I don't get it. So yeah.
That actually brings me to something that I remembered watching on Vice a long time ago, which actually they had the so there's an action committee called, or I think it's an action committee called three. I don't know how to say it.
Pi.
I mean, I know it's pi, but the way they spell it, it's 3.14action.org.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's maybe it's called pi action. I don't know. I could use some pi action. I'm hungry. But anyways, 3.14action.org, right? Which they were basically a group that was, because I remember distinctly, it was like they brought in like a what's it called when you have a bunch of people come into a convention? They had a convention with scientists to see about getting scientists involved in politics, right? Because I guess scientists are starting to see that, look, this is getting so out of hand that we have no choice but to get involved into politics, right?
Yeah.
Science has done a lot of things to help us out. Like, have you ever seen the video, the photos of California in the 70s where they had all that smog?
Mm-hmm.
There's a photo of California in like the 70s. We had all that smog before they created the whatever it is that we get that you have to have in order to pass the emissions test.
Okay. Yeah.
I forget.
Well, the emissions test, right?
Well, no, but there's a particular machine, I think calibrator or something like that. I don't know about cars. I'm sorry. I'll try to make sure of that in my corrections. But next, corrections next week. But if you look at it, they literally show a picture of all the smog filling up California in the 70s, or LA, I believe, and then they show it after that was introduced, and it's gone, right? Science is trying to all science cares about is data and facts, right? Yeah, maybe there are going to be look.
Even the seatbelt thing is science.
Yeah, there's no reason why when we talk about climate change, that literally the 1% that doesn't believe climate change is based in science, the 1% of scientists has as much, if not really, they have more of a voice than the 99% of scientists.
They're usually the loudest ones.
They're
usually the most. They're usually the ones that say, "Oh, we get shunned in the scientific community." There's all this victimization thing that they love doing. Oh, we get shunned for not believing the rest of them. Yeah, because consensus says that this is what it is.
I'm not gonna agree with the one dentist that doesn't agree that I should use the toothpaste. I'm gonna agree with the other four.
4 out of 5 say,
comes in numbers. Like what'd you say?
I said 4 out of 5 say use this toothpaste, but that one that said I shouldn't.
Like, hey, look, I'm sorry, but I'm going with the numbers, right? It's just like, and then it's. I just don't get, like, do Republicans have a different set of air that they're gonna breathe? Or a different, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to figure out. Because if they are, let me know. I'll start voting Republicans just so I can have dibs in that air.
No, but you know what? It's a purely cynical thing, because they know that in order to get these policies in place that clean the air and all that stuff, it requires certain companies putting processes in place that might cost the company more. And these are the companies that will end up donating to these Republican senators and congressmen and saying, hey, stop this from passing. So those Republican senators and congressmen, being disingenuous, instead of trying to say that, hey, this is going to hurt this company's bottom line, what they say is the science is wrong. Don't listen to the science. So dispute the science rather than just be what's the opposite of ingenuous? Of disingenuous. Rather than just
genuous.
Genuous.
Genuine.
Rather than exactly. Rather than just be genuine and say that, look, my donor wants me to stop this. So.
Look, easy talk. We're like Donald Trump. We know words. We know the greatest words. Okay.
Bigly. So yeah, it's terrible that one party has descended into this, anti-science, cabal, if you will. But